Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our information session for Cornell Duffield Engineering. I'm Terry Carey. I am an assistant director of for admissions here, and I have my colleague Robin in the background also joining us tonight. She is helping keeping our technology going, so thank you so much, Robin, for being here. And we are just thrilled to have you all join us tonight. Thank you for submitting your questions when you were registering. We really appreciate them. We tried to include as many as we could in this presentation so that you can have the answers that you were looking for. In addition, I want to let you know about a few events that are coming up that you may be interested in. On Wednesday, July 29th, we will have another virtual program. It's a student panel based around student project teams. So if you have questions about the program, please feel free to register for that event and submit your questions in there. In addition, we will have one more summer virtual program on Monday, August 10th, called a Q&A with an admissions officer, where Robin and I will be answering your submitted questions about Duffield Engineering. We'll also talk about the admissions process or any other inquiries that you have. So that's another opportunity for you to submit any questions to that session, and we would love to see you there. All right, so again, welcome. And today we are going to present an overview of Duffield Cornell Engineering. This may sound unique to you. We have a new name. Back in January, we were notified that we received a $520 million gift from David A. Duffield. It's the largest gift in Cornell's history. And 50 million of that gift is going to be dedicated to key priorities related to educational excellence. And then the remainder of the Duffield of this gift will go to the Duffield Launch Fund. So that is going to be updating the college's physical infrastructure, strengthening its research facilities, supporting its faculty and students in advanced research excellence in domains such as quantum engineering, science and technology, engineering, human health, and artificial intelligence and data-driven decision making. So it's a very exciting time for us here, and we are just so grateful and thrilled to now be called the Cornell Duffield Engineering College. So the first portion of this presentation, we are going to be talking about our academic core, our majors and our minors that we offer. And then we are going to talk about what we build around that core, things like co-curriculars, the research we do here, ways to learn outside of the classroom. And then the last part of this presentation, we are going to be talking about application processes and our admissions office. So at the end, I will also have our email address up there so you can contact us if you do have any more questions that you weren't able to find out through this presentation. And if you have anything else that you want to reach out to us about, please feel free to do that at the end with that email address. Okay, so let's get started with this quote from Ezra Cornell. In 1865 is when he founded our institution, and it is our university's philosophy. So he is quoted as saying, "I would found an institution where any person can find instruction in any study." And we believe that people can come from many different backgrounds. They can enroll here and explore a variety of different fields. And as you will see, we encourage you to, yes, study engineering, but we also connect engineering to other fields. We see engineering as this connection point, and it can be used to solve some of the world's biggest problems. So we want you to come here and learn both in the depth of engineering, but also in the breadth across the university and across fields. So here we have a true university education. So our engineering program is embedded within a broader university structure. We have 8 admitting colleges within Cornell University. So the College of Arts and Sciences is our largest college here at Cornell, and it's the beating heart of our university. It's where philosophy, history, art, pure sciences, where all of those majors are housed. And then surrounding that college are the professional or the pre-professional academic programs like engineering. So this coming together makes our university approach an opportunity for breadth and depth in your education. You're going to go deep into engineering, but you also come out with this well-rounded, as a well-rounded student, still having those liberal arts touch points. So let's take a look a bit deeper at our program and compare it to some others. So an institute model is organized a bit differently with a specific purpose that often emphasizes depth into that specialized field more than the breadth of an education. They have a lot to offer, and our university model is a bit different, and it emphasizes interdisciplinary study. So this results in an expansive and a compelling academic setup, often prioritizing breadth in addition to depth. So we offer the ability to collaborate with other subjects, with other colleges, other departments, crossing our specialization in engineering with other fields. So what does that really look like? Well, the picture here shows an undergraduate student there in the black shirt, who is an electrical and computer science major. So he is working with a graduate student who is an archaeologist, building a 3D model of a 15 million year old mummified bird. So this is bringing together engineering and archaeology, but also people from different levels of education, undergrads, graduate students, faculty, all coming together, again, showcasing our any person, any study philosophy. As the largest of the Ivy League schools, we encompass both the liberal arts tradition as well as a Big Ten type of school. So we are research driven. We are a research one institution with a real practical focus. So Cornell University has around 100 different fields of study and about 80 different majors across the whole university. And that includes our 14 engineering majors here in our college. There are approximately 6,000 courses at Cornell each year that are offered, 4,000 at the undergraduate level and 2,000 in graduate studies. So think about that in terms of the numbers of courses you're offered at your high school and then compare that to here with 6,000. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of the vast number of different areas and topics that you can study here. You have the freedom to take courses that you're interested in, right? So yes, you are going to be in science, technology, engineering, but then you also have the freedom and the opportunity to enrich those core interests with other interests, whether that be music, business, psychology, agriculture, a language. We have a lot to offer. There are over 100 areas that you can also minor in across the university. So as you can see, we have this mix of both breadth and depth throughout this program. We have the breadth of the institution, and then the depth that you have in the specialization of the curricula here at Duffield Engineering. And so why is this important? And it's because we do our best work at the intersection of fields, not siloed within our own field. So this combination of this allows for a very interdisciplinary and consistently collaborative approach to all of our work. We love collaboration here. So lastly, and I think this is one of the best ways our university experience can uniquely impact your learning experience is the community that you're going to be connected with here. So you are going to be taking classes with students that are in other colleges. They're not all going to be engineers. You're going to be participating in clubs and organizations with students from a range of backgrounds, and you're going to be living with students from all over the world. So it is not only engineering students here, you will find people studying in all of our colleges that you're going to be interacting with and learning with. So this is only going to enhance your learning and broaden your perspectives of being able to interact with people with interests both inside yours, but also outside. Okay, this is a graphic that was designed by a colleague of ours in the office, and it helps to display what we look for in an engineer. So what we think an engineer looks like, or characteristics that maybe go well in this field. So you don't have to be all of these things. Don't sit there and think, I don't know if I can represent all this. That's okay. But if you identify with a few of these, then maybe engineering is a good home for you. We are looking for skills in many different areas. So yes, thinking about math and science, engineers need that. But also engineers need to be collaborative. They need to be able to communicate with each other. Engineering doesn't happen in a vacuum. There is always overlap with other engineering fields, with other fields outside of engineering as well. So it's great to love problem solving, but also it is helpful if engineers have some emotional intelligence, some curiosity, creativity, all of these things that are valuable within the field of engineering. Duffield Engineering also uses these 5 core principles in our education philosophy. So we have a principles-based education, and it's wrapped into this acronym of EPIC: excellence, purpose, innovation, community, and collaboration. I think I've said that a lot, right? Collaboration is big here. We integrate these principles directly into our education. So our hope is that you can connect with these core values, and when students enroll, that they see that these are reflected in the work and the environment here at Duffield Engineering. So we strive for excellence in everything we do in academics and research, but also in ethics, responsibility, service, and character. We integrate purpose into our curriculum, into our research and programs, ensuring that our students continue to see the mission and the goal behind problem solving, to understand deeper, but also to see the significance of how important our work is as engineers, and the impact of what is possible. Innovation drives us. We want to take calculated risks, see what is possible, continue to push engineering to create and to innovate. Our community is one that is diverse, welcoming, inclusive, and supportive. This goes for our students, our staff, our faculty. We want to ensure that Duffield Engineering is a place where people feel seen and they see valued for who they are. And then finally, collaboration, which I hope you'll see throughout this presentation, that we value the ability to work together, finding solutions with diverse minds and working towards a common goal. We work together as a community in engineering, and we work together for those outside of engineering. So our students will see these core values within the classroom and outside of it, knowing that their education will encompass all of these qualities valued in engineering. Okay, so now let's take a moment to talk about something that truly sets Duffield Engineering apart, and that is our world-class faculty. So Cornell University as a whole has about 1,600 faculty members, and about 350 of those are housed here at Duffield Engineering. All Duffield Engineering faculty are deeply engaged in a full spectrum of academic life, and that means that that includes teaching, research, and student advising. Cornell Engineering is considered a mid-sized engineering program with around 3,500 undergraduate students enrolled, and each year graduating a class of about 850 new students. So this size gives us this really unique position. We are large enough to offer a full range of academic resources and research opportunities, but also we are small enough to support this close personal connection between students and faculty. In fact, 99% of our classes are taught by faculty, and that's really an extraordinary number. We also have a student to faculty ratio of 12 to 1, and about 75% of our classes have fewer than 25 students. So our undergraduate students aren't sitting in the back row of massive lecture halls. They are in the front row working side by side with leaders in the field. And so faculty members in the Duffield College of Engineering are actively engaged in research. They all lead their own lab and research groups, working at the cutting edge of innovation. So every faculty member in Duffield College of Engineering is also teaching undergraduates. So whether it's in a lecture, in labs, or during office hours, they are in the trenches with students. And every faculty member in Duffield Engineering is also advising students. So each professor typically mentors a group of 20 to 25 students over the course of 4 years, helping them plan their academic path and reach their goals. So this model of engagement really creates this symbiotic relationship where research informs teaching and teaching informs research. Our students aren't just learning from textbooks, they're learning from the very people who are pushing the boundaries of engineering in the field. And because these expectations are built into the role, Cornell naturally attracts a particular kind of faculty member. Those who are not only brilliant researchers, but they're also dedicated mentors and passionate educators. They come here because they want to teach. They want to work closely with students, and they want to help shape the next generation of engineers. So this helps to build this collaborative academic community, learning from world-class faculty, conducting groundbreaking research, and building personal relationships that support your growth as a student and as an engineer. So people are typically really excited to join the engineering field, right? You can make a real impact on global issues, help find innovative solutions to problems, and find a lot of joy in helping people. We also recognize that engineering is probably one of the most rigorous curriculums that college can offer. And that's why we are deeply committed to supporting our students every step of the way. So our philosophy is simple. If you've been admitted to Duffield Engineering, you already have what it takes, both academically and socially, to succeed here. Our role is to provide the support, the resources, and the encouragement you need to thrive. So we have a wide range of offices, of resources, and programs devoted exclusively to engineering students to ensure that the help you receive is tailored to your specific needs as a future engineer. So you can see a number of them here on the slide, giving our students resources to succeed here. And one that I want to highlight is our engineering advising office. So this team of dedicated advisors exists to ensure that Every engineering student has the tools, the support, and the guidance necessary to succeed. We practice something that is called intrusive advising, which means our advisors proactively reach out to our students when they are facing difficulties. So, for instance, if a student earns a grade below a C on an exam, the advising office is going to be notified and they are going to personally reach out to that student. So maybe the student is overwhelmed with coursework, they're dealing with an illness, they're managing some personal challenges, whatever the issue is, our advisors are there to listen, they're there to support, and they're going to offer resources and help our students get back on track. These dedicated advisors are here to help plan out your academic roadmap, and maybe that includes a minor. Maybe you want to spend a semester abroad. You want to do an internship, integrate a co-op into your time here, whatever your goal is, they are here with the information you need as to engineer your own pathway. And then additionally, we want you to find your community here. And so these are just a few organizations that can help students find their community here within engineering. So just as Cornell offers an incredible breadth of opportunities across its many colleges, Duffield Engineering offers exceptional depth within engineering itself. With 14 undergraduate majors, we have one of the most comprehensive undergraduate engineering programs in the United States and in the world. That depth benefits students in an important way. You don't need to arrive knowing exactly which field of engineering you want to pursue. If you enjoy math and science and solving complex problems, engineering is likely a great fit, and we're happy to have you. Our program is designed to give you the time and the flexibility to explore different disciplines before committing to a major. So every first-year student begins as a Duffield engineer rather than entering a specific major. Some students have a clear direction from day one, while others are still discovering what excites them, and both paths are equally supported. So we encourage all Duffield engineers to explore introductory courses, to connect with faculty and upper class students, to learn about different disciplines and career opportunities, and then take advantage of the many resources that are available. Most students affiliate with their engineering major during their sophomore year, giving them the opportunity to make an informed decision based on their interests and their experiences. We want you to find the field that truly inspires you and sets you up for long-term success. From your first year, you'll take courses that introduce you to many fields of engineering. So you'll also participate in a couple of different programs. And one that is really distinctive is our Sealander Center for Engineering Leadership. Our Leadership for All program within that center is designed specifically for engineering students and uses data-driven assessment to help you better understand your strengths, your values, and your leadership style so that you can align them with your academic and career goals. So along the way, you'll receive guidance from academic advisors and faculty mentors as you explore your options. Together, these experiences give you the knowledge and the support to make an informed decision about your engineering major. And when it's time to choose, there are no enrollment caps on our majors. So you'll be able to pursue the field that inspires you, not simply the one that has available space. The second benefit of our deep curriculum has to do with your longer professional trajectory. So here, we want you to be trained to be intellectually nimble and ready for the world of engineering after graduation. So in engineering today, we are making the best advancements at the intersection of multiple fields of engineering. And even outside of engineering, like I said before, engineering doesn't happen in a vacuum. You're always working with others. So the depth that we have here allows our undergraduates to have a profoundly interdisciplinary experience. When you affiliate with an engineering major, you will absolutely receive an in-depth education in that discipline through coursework, through faculty, and through resources from the department. But I also guarantee that you will intersect meaningfully with several other majors here in engineering. So as a civil engineer, you're going to be working alongside environmental engineers. Biomedical engineers are going to be working alongside mechanical engineers. You will be able to get this well-rounded conceptual look at how your discipline operates with other fields that it is connected to. In addition, we have 18 minors, and a minor is equivalent to 18 course credits of work. You can minor in anything across the university. You can take your engineering passion and cross it with other fields and other colleges. You can bring technology to fashion, engineering solutions to agriculture, or help find solutions for people in the medical field. So a minor is a great way to get an expertise in another subject without this large commitment of a double major. Cornell also has minors like the Dyson Business Minor for Engineers, which is a minor designed specifically for our engineering students, and it helps you prepare for leadership at the intersection of business and science. So if you haven't caught on by now, we like interdisciplinary education, collaboration. We want to bring people together. So a minor is a great way to do this, bringing engineering to many other fields across our university. All right, so now let's take a look at the curriculum and what you can expect as an engineering student here. For the most part, this is what a 4-year schedule will look like for students. So some come in with credits, but typically you will see a lot of math and science, especially in the first 2 years. So we hope that you love math and science. In the first 2 years, you are going to take 4 calculus-based courses and 4 science-based courses, lots of physics, but also in chemistry and biology. You will also enroll in an introduction to computer science course and an introduction to engineering course. And so this introduction to engineering course can be within any major that you are interested in and helps you learn more about it. It'll give you a high level overview of what to expect over the next 4 years if you do take on that major. And it usually has about 18 to 20 students in it and is taught by a professor. This class offers hands-on experiences, field trips, and lots of time with student services integrated into the course. So we want also our students to be well-rounded. And being a liberal arts institution, we do have these touch points throughout. So we ask our students to enroll in 2 writing seminars, which have some fun topics that you can pick from. There are over 150 of them to choose. You will also need to enroll in 2 physical education classes. And again, these have a lot of fun topics, options like dance, ice skating, sailing, martial arts, wilderness, first aid, meditation, some really neat classes that you can enroll in. And then, of course, the liberal arts studies distribution along the bottom that you see there in blue is 18 credits. And that is where you can fit in your minor if that is something you're interested in. So during your sophomore year, you will affiliate with a major and then go deep into those courses within your major and its requirements. Okay, so let's look at what happens outside of the classroom. We have a number of opportunities, some of them unique to Duffield, where students are going to develop soft skills like communication, teamwork, empathy, all of these things that engineers need, but maybe can't get out of a textbook. So these are just a few, and I want to highlight a couple before moving on. So the first is that we have the largest student-led project team program in the country with 36 current project teams. At any time, about a third of our undergraduate students participate on a project team. So these are open to all majors, and basically it is a group of students coming together to fulfill a mission of some kind. Some are competitive, like the CU Autonomous Drone, Concrete Canoe, Mars Rover. All of these teams are creating something and then competing it to see how it performs against other schools. Some have more of a humanitarian focus, like Engineers Without Borders or Agua Clara, where you are helping a community. These also come with a global experience option. So for example, Agua Clara, they design and build a water filtration plant, and then they travel to places like Honduras to actually bring it to the community. So students are getting this hands-on experience, but then you're also, again, building these soft skills and seeing engineering in real time, being a part of a team, solving these real world problems. We have a number of spaces for project teams, including the Experiential Learning Lab in Upson Hall, our Manufacturing and Learning Studio in Sibley, our Rapid Prototyping Lab, which is a 3D printing area, and then a number of labs in Tang Hall, which are related to biomedical engineering and material science, among many others that our students have access to and work in all the time. This is really a hallmark of our program, and we are really proud of what these teams are capable of doing. Research is also very popular among our students at any given time. Up to 50% of our students are doing research. And there is a really wide rake here when it comes to participation. So some students join a lab just to know what it's like to be there, how to pipette, use instruments, all the way up to students running their own research groups and presenting at conferences. So you can do research in engineering, but you can also do research in any other college at Cornell. So again, we are a Research One institution. Our faculty want undergraduates in the labs with them, a new way to learn, but also having undergraduates there gives them this unique perspective that they may not have otherwise. I previously spoke about our Sealander Center, but again, this program helps bring leadership development into our program and become a central component of education here. So the Sealander Center for Engineering Leadership has a variety of initiatives designed specifically for our undergraduate engineering students. They have programs like our Compass program, where students can be matched with alumni coaches. You can enroll in things like our skills clinics, and it helps you develop things like active listening, positive team culture, and managing conflict. And then we also have an engineering leadership certification program. So again, we are helping you take these skills from inside of the classroom and applying them to real life projects and research outside of the classroom, building skills for your future and your career in engineering. All right. I want to take a moment to talk briefly about our Global Start Cantabria program. So this picture is of Santander, Spain. It's on the northern shore of Spain, where our inaugural class, a cohort of 22 first-year Duffield engineering students will begin their studies this fall at the Universidad de Cantabria, which is a partnership that we have with their university there. So this program is offered to first-year students interested in starting their Duffield journey abroad. So you are going to take similar classes as our first year students would in Ithaca, but you will be in Europe with a faculty member and small cohort of students. So we do require language proficiency in Spanish in this program, as this area does not have English speaking communities, but all classes are taught in English. And this is a great opportunity for students to study abroad in this immersive experience. So if you are interested, I encourage you to look more into the program via the QR code that we have here on the screen. Of course, we have focused on many of the engineering programs and experiences here at Cornell, but there are over 1,000 student organizations here that students from any major can be involved in. We have engineers in music and sports and Greek life, and we want you to find your community here and also find things that bring you joy. That is actually one of our application questions, and I will get to that in a future slide. But we do want to see students find something that they enjoy and that you can use as an outlet. So one of my favorite organizations that they have here on campus is an a cappella group, and it's called the Mediocre Melodies. And their motto is bad singers for a good cause. And they are a group of students who don't necessarily excel in singing, but they do it anyway, and they raise money for charity. And I just think it is such a perfect way of showcasing that there truly is an organization for everyone here at Cornell. So where are our graduates? Here is a look at some data from our recent alums. This looks at our class of 2025. So 86% of our students graduated in 4 years, and then an additional 10% had an internal transfer. So meaning that they started in engineering, but then they transferred to another college at Cornell. So they left engineering, but they went to business, arts and sciences, another college that's within Cornell University. Within 6 months of graduating, 97% of our students had a next step planned. So either they were enrolling in a graduate program or they found a job and started their career. For those starting their career, the mean starting salary was $106,000. And some examples of alumni jobs that they found were investment banking analyst, wind energy analyst, game developer, Imagineer, catastrophe risk modeler, satellite systems engineer. So we offer many resources to ensure that these students do have options and a plan for postgraduate life. The students who have the most success with this are the ones who take the initiative and they utilize these resources. So we have a career center and they provide wonderful support and direction, but students need to drive the bus, right? They need to get there and utilize that resource. So job searching is unstructured. There are many places to start, but students who work with this office have a better outcome than those who do not. So we have companies come to campus to interview our students. We have Handshake, which is our online resource for jobs and internships that students and alumni can use to connect with employers. And then you can see that our students are very successful post-graduation with this support. So again, 97% of our students have a plan in place within 6 months of graduating. Okay, so now let's talk about admissions and the admissions process. We offer two ways of applying to our college, early decision and regular decision. Early decision, the application deadline is November 1st, and we review those applications through November into early December. And decisions are released usually in mid-December. There are three possible outcomes. You may be admitted, we may defer your application to regular decision, or you may be denied. Early decision is binding, which means that if you are admitted during early decision, we expect that you will enroll and that you must withdraw all other college applications. The one caveat to that early decision, the one caveat to that in early decision is that if you are applying for financial aid and it does not meet your needs, you may withdraw without consequence. We also offer a regular decision option. The application deadline is January 2nd, and we review those applications through the winter and through most of March. And then decisions are released at the end of March or early April. There are also three possible outcomes here as well. You may be admitted, you may be placed on a wait list to be considered if space becomes available, or you may be denied. Regular decision is not binding, which means that if you are admitted, we'd love for you to attend, but it will be up to you and your choice, and you can compare to other offers that you have. So which is best? We get this question a lot, and I can tell you that there is usually a 20 to 25% admit rate for early decision. We build a lot of our class in early decision, and then we have a less than 10% admit rate for regular decision. So statistically speaking, stronger chances in early decision. We build a good portion of our class, like I said, in the early decision pool. So if you wake up and without a doubt can say Duffield Engineering is my number one, I will go there if I get in, I would suggest early decision. But if you cannot say that, then regular decision is probably a better fit for you because then you would be able to have the option of choosing whichever school and comparing your different programs. So we read applications holistically, meaning we consider everything in your application and we put it into the context of your high school environment. We want to see the whole picture, and there are three major parts to every application: the academic component, the standardized testing component, and the personal component. So for academics, we are looking at your grades, but we're also looking at the rigor of what you took in high school and, of course, putting that into the context of what your high school offers. So a school report comes with your application, and that tells us what classes are offered. So we want to see you with some strong grades in STEM classes, and we want to see you pushing the rigor there. In terms of standardized testing, we do require either the ACT or SAT to be taken and to submit those scores. We do super score, and there are no minimum scores needed for ACT or SAT, but keep in mind that we do have a competitive pool of applicants. So again, we read these holistically, and especially because we know that the academic and standardized testing components can look similar for many of our students, that this is why the personal component is where you can tell us more about who you are and what kind of community member you will be. We ask you to answer 2 essay prompts and then 4 short answer questions that I'm going to see in the next slide. But we also ask for 2 letters of recommendation from teachers and at least one of them coming from a STEM teacher. So here are the essay prompts and the short answer questions that we ask from you. Again, since many of our students look similar academically, we want to give you opportunities to tell us more about who you are and what your experiences are and about your interests about here in engineering and here at Duffield. So we hope you see this as an opportunity to share with us, and a helpful tip is that these questions are much more about you than they are about us. So when asking these questions, specifically, why do you think you would love to study at Duffield Engineering? We aren't asking you to list out all of the wonderful things we offer here. We, as admissions officers, are very well versed in our program, but what we don't know is who you are and what you would do here and what your interests are and how you can contribute to our community and how our community can help shape who you are in your education. So yes, Duffield Engineering is the setting of all of these, but you're the main character. Make sure your focus is more on your time here. When thinking of these responses, be sure that you're answering the question and being reflective in your essay. That will help us get insight into who you are. I think particularly our office loves the "What brings you joy" prompt. And we love to hear the small things and the large parts of your lives that make you happy. whether that is inside engineering or more often, and we love to see, outside of engineering. So tell us honestly, I love baking, traveling brings me joy, playing basketball with my brother is one of my favorite things to do. Something that shows us a little bit about who you are. Here at Cornell, we are committed to affordability. So we want to remove financial barriers and allow students to focus on their education. So to help to do so, Cornell offers 100% need blind and need-based admissions for domestic applicants. So this includes US citizens, permanent residents, applicants with DACA status, and long-term undocumented applicants. Cornell practices need aware admissions for international students. So, as you're thinking about and applying for financial aid, please be aware that there are two different financial aid calculators on our financial aid website. One is a quick cost estimator, and then the other one is a net price calculator. I'd encourage you and your parents to work together on these calculators to find some time to get an idea for some insight on the true cost of a Cornell education after financial aid. Also, please be aware that deadlines do not line up with our admissions deadlines. So deadlines for financial aid are different than our admissions ones. So keep in mind that they are on two different paths. Okay. Thank you so much for attending this evening. We hope that you are able to learn more about our program. If you are interested, again, please join us for our two other virtual program events. One on July 29th, our student project team panel, where our students will come and talk to you all about their project teams. And then on August 10th, Q&A with an admissions officer, where I will sit down with Robin and answer your questions that you submitted. You can register online for all of those. If you want to reach out and ask any questions, please do so with the email on the screen, engr_admissions@cornell.edu, or you can phone our office. You can always learn more by visiting our website as well. Thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful night.